As you can imagine, lowering your orbit's altitude is very much like raising it, only in reverse. Because there is no air up here, we can use our main engines to decelerate, as well as accelerate. Because the ship's orientation will not cause problems with airflow, and flying backwards is easy as flying forwards. Alright. Also, since our orbit is nearly circular, we can just turn retrograde and do our burn at any time now, so let's get to it. Good, let's turn retrograde. Turn off SAS so we can do this more easily. Let's prograde. So retrograde should be here somewhere. Easy now. Go back. Up. Down. Oh, a little bit to the side here. Right there. Pew. Okay. And let's burn. And we're already lowering our orbit. See how it comes in? Sweet. Just need to hit Earth at some point. We have enough fuel to do this. I do wanna... Wait a second. Let's not do this as fast. Because I wanna land on a landmass here if I may, if I can. Yeah, let's just throttle it up again. Cool. We're going this way though. So we are landing in the water, which I don't want to do. Let's follow this around a bit. Maybe we can hit that landmass here. A little further. A little further. And shut off. I guess that's somewhere in the mountains over there. Should be good. Right, that's it. You're now on your way back. 20,000 meters is low enough to hit the atmosphere, so you are now on a re-entry course to Kerbal. Once we're below 60,000 meters, the atmosphere will start slowing the ship down to the point that it won't have enough velocity to rise back up again. Okay. This is all we need to do for this lesson. You could keep playing and either perform more maneuvers or ride this path down to the landing. Or you could... Excuse me. The water repeats on me. Or you can skip to the next lesson. If you do try for a landing, don't forget to decouple the capsule and deploy the parachutes. Okay, let's do that. We already know how to time warp. No, let's do something different. Let's get it to cursor and maybe warp towards here. Warp here. How high up are we? I don't see it anymore. Okay, there we are. Coming back in. So we need to stage this. Maybe we want to turn around. We should go retrograde, right? Yeah. So our heat shields are this way. Look at that. We are taking damage here. Did I come in too steep or too fast? Something's exploding and shaking. Oh crap, we're very hot. This might very well be our very first death, and 3 at a time. Ah, no, we didn't. They're feeling good. Jebediah, Bill, and Bob are in good spirits. Let's take a look at our craft here. Sweet. Look at that. And to the left of our craft here, you see a 2.5 kilometers thing. That's, I guess that those were our boosters, which are still going and most likely gonna crash into Kerbal at some point. Was that a little early? Might have been. I don't know what the parameters were for the shoot. Usually it was about 2 kilometers, but for some reason we opened now. Must be a different setup. Oh, there it opens. Sweet. Yeah, nice. See that in the background? Our boosters just completely exploded. And we're slowly making our descent back onto Kerbal. awesome. I did like every part of this mission. That was very cool. LL Mika, welcome back to the stream. It's great to have you here. How have you been? It's been a while. Great to see you. We're just, I could maybe warp it a little bit. What? Using physics warp can affect the structural stability of the vessel. I don't want to do that. Okay. I just want to get to Earth. Kerbal. How far down are we? We're gonna land any second now. Exit warp mode. And boom. Yeah. We survived, everybody. Sweet. Cool. Let's move on to the next tutorial mission, which is gonna be science basics. How much do we have left? A little bit. It's gonna be the rest of the stream for today, but that's okay. We have to get through this before we can do any campaign stuff, because this is my first time playing this, apart from yesterday. Science basics. Werner von Kerman is gonna teach us about science, everybody. That's good. So far so good, that's great to hear. Hello and welcome. Can I move this over here? It's usually at the right, but now it's over to the left and it confuses me. Hello and welcome to today's lecture on the Kerbal scientific method. I'm Werner von Kerman, scientist extraordinaire. This tutorial doesn't really require any previous knowledge, but in order to gather science points, you will have to acquaint yourself with almost every aspect of the game, so you should do them all at some point. We are now at the Kerbal Space Center. For a tour, see the basic construction tutorial. We already did that. For now, we'll focus on the research and development complex. And again, he goes over there. The large complex nearest to you is the research and development complex. This is where you'll make use of the science points your missions award you to unlock more parts. Go ahead and enter it. Good. This facility is locked. Why was it selected then? It should be this one. Research and development. Very good. What you see in the middle of the graph is the tech tree. It shows how far your research has taken Kerbal technology. You don't have much to show right now because you're not a world-class scientist like myself. He is quite full of himself, this Werner von Kerman. At least not yet. Okay, maybe I spoke too soon. But I trust you have the potential to achieve great things. In a typical career game, you will start with a few parts and have to earn the rest. For education's sake, I've gone ahead and given some data units to your space program, so you should have enough science to unlock the next node. The total of your current available science points is shown on the top right. The 5.0 thing? I think it is. Up there. Where are we? Let's get cracking. Select any of the available grayed out nodes and research it. Can I use the cursor here? No. Start. Researched. Basic rocketry or engineering? Grayed out. Those don't look grayed out to me. They look grayed out to me. That's just gray. And these are green. But okay, that's splitting hairs, I guess. So, why am I moving this now? I don't want to. Please, let me... What? Crap. Okay. Basic rocketry or engineering? What should we do? Let's go for... basic rocketry. Hooray! That's how research is done. You may have noticed that additional nodes were linked to the one you researched, and are now available to be researched as well. Don't know what to pick next? Don't worry, you can select a node at any time and useful information will be displayed in the right pane. This includes the new parts that it contains and how much science is needed to research. Yeah. It's where my face is actually. Maybe I should move myself down for this. Right there. It's gonna interfere with the other screens, so I'm not sure where I should place my mug here in this game, but we'll figure it out. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this is all nice and jolly, but how do I get more science? You can get more by doing many things, such as gathering crew reports from regions your Kerbals visit, fulfilling some kinds of contracts, collecting samples from various locations, equipping your ships with parts for experiments, such as the mystery goo containment unit, which we used yesterday, etc. There are many possibilities, really. Most of these actions are performed through context menus, which are displayed when you use square while the cursor, blah blah blah. Okay, we already know that. Just keep in mind that your mission needs to transmit the results or survive a physical return to Kerbin in order for the raw data points to be converted into useful science. Okay, makes sense. If it burns up in the atmosphere, it's no good to us. All of the activities I mentioned, and the many others you can discover, are tracked in a record for future reference. You can access these science archives by pressing R1. Is that it? Yeah. The first and most important thing to notice is the rugged looks of this fellow in charge, Werner von Kerman. He is full of himself, let's face it. You can also see which science activities you have already performed, when, with whom, and how much science they earn for you. This is important because you see, if you repeat the same experiment multiple times, its scientific value diminishes because you already knew part of the answer. Makes sense. Mind you, as a result, you will receive less science each time you repeat an action until you get practically nothing for it at all anymore. Another outstanding feature of the archives is that you can check which celestial bodies you have already visited and conducted experiments on, or around. You can do so by selecting the icon corresponding to the body that you're interested in. For now, you will only see the records of the research I gave you, but once you start doing your own science, you will be able to check it there. Good. That covers the basics of science. This is a theoretical class, and I'm sure it will make a lot more sense when you go out and try it yourself. Remember that science requires curiosity, so go out and experiment. And don't be discouraged if a mission doesn't go quite as planned. If you learn something new, it's not a complete failure. You just learned how not to do it. If you're still feeling lost, feel free to try the other tutorials. I'm looking forward to your accomplishments. I must continue to my own research now. When you're done, show yourself out by pressing circle. Alright, Moho. Why is that H not an F? That would be way more funny. Eve, Kerbin, Duna, Drez, Jewel, Elo. Where's the moon? Why isn't there the moon? Or am I blind? We've got a lot of research done on these subjects. Excellent. Survived a flight on Kerbin. Nothing else though. Okay, let's show ourselves out, as he said, and move on to the next thingamajig. Science Basics is what we just did. To the Moon, Part 1. This tutorial will introduce you to flights outside of Kerbin's sphere of influence at the most basic level, flying to the moon. So, let's see, is that from 0 to hero, or is it... Okay, it's right in the action. I thought we could build the spacecraft and do all the things. I guess not. Gene Kerman, welcome to the first in a series of lessons designed to prepare you for flight in and around Kerbin's local system. I've been inspired by the famous work of Jules Kerman, From Kerbin to the Moon. We'll take a leaf out of his book and go one better by returning as well. In our first lesson we will be starting from LKO, low Kerbin orbit, and traveling to the moon. Where are we? In low Kerbin orbit at an altitude of almost 100 kilometers. Ending in low Mooner orbit. I'm going to assume you've completed the flight tutorials preceding this as well as Orbiting 101, but if not, you really should go do them first. We did, just now. An important part of flights between celestial objects is a transfer orbit, which basically means an orbit used to change between two orbits. In our case, the periapsis of our orbit will be very near to Kerbin, yeah? And the apoapsis will extend to just beyond the moon's orbit. Alright? Interplanetary trajectories are much the same, but on a much larger scale. Now, open the radial menu and go into the map view. Phew. I know the shortcut for this, so I don't have to go into the radial menu. To perform a successful transfer, you'll need to arrange for your ship and the target to arrive at the same place at the same time. If you really know what you're doing, you can calculate your own transfer orbit on the fly, or you could try eyeballing it. That's how you do it in space. That's how they do it at NASA. They're just winging things. However, it's much easier to use maneuver nodes, so let's do that now. Activate the cursor by pressing L3 and press X anywhere on your orbit, then choose Add Maneuver. Okay, where's the moon? There it is. Okay, we're right there, so maybe it would make sense to do a maneuver here, a burn or some sort. I mean, the moon is gonna move as well, so it doesn't really matter. Add a maneuver. Maneuver nodes let you plan orbital maneuvers ahead of time, and most importantly, you can do so without wasting precious propellant. They have 3 edit modes to change different aspects of the maneuver. The one that shows by default allows you to adjust the node position in the orbit using L. If you need to move it faster, pressing L1 will help you. Okay, I don't think that's important now. I'm moving this, by the way. The second mode allows you to edit the actual maneuver parameters and has 6 handles. The green ones, do I see them? No. The green ones are prograde and retrograde, the purple ones normal and anti-normal, changing the orbit inclination. And the blue ones are radial and radial in and radial out. That's towards and from Kerbal. I'm not gonna go into detail about these right now, because these are the same vectors on the navball you saw in Orbiting 101. For now, just remember that prograde and retrograde help you grow or shrink your orbit, and normal and anti-normal help you tilt it. Exactly. The last mode allows you to remove the node as well as add or remove orbit passes, but we won't be needing this now. You can cycle over the modes with R1. I need to zoom in, I can't. Being in the maneuver node's second mode, you can plan burns for the selected handle using L. Cycle over handles with L1 to see how a burn made in that direction for that duration would affect the resultant orbit. In our particular case, we want to bring the apoapsis, which is where exactly? Back there. Up just enough to intercept the moon's orbit at a point around 45 degrees ahead of moon's current position. If your trajectory is correct, the orbit line will shift colors when it gets close to moon. This indicates the point where your ship will transition from the influence of Kerbal's gravity to that of the moon. The region in which the pull from that body's gravity is strongest is its sphere of influence, or SOI. In the real life, the gravitational influence of all planets and moons matters too. Right, so still being on the moon, the gravitational influence of Earth would still influence our maneuvering there because of gravitational waves and whatever. Alright, let's get to it then. With the handles showing, you might need to open the cursor and press X on the node to make them appear. Pull the prograde handle. Can I zoom in now? No. Oh, crap. Until your post-maneuver orbit reaches as high as the moon. I don't know. I want to zoom in, but I can't. Do I need to... wait a second. I think this is what we want to go for. Yes. Okay, Ooh, no. This is tilting. This is very sensitive. Easy now. Just slightly. Okay, we're moving very slightly. Okay, what is this? I want to zoom out, but I can't. That's poopy. Would be nice to see what I'm doing over there.